Alright, so Guild Wars 2 time. Got some dailies to do. Got some chests to open. I honestly recorded a whole bunch of audio for this already. And my microphone on the headset, I guess, accidentally hit the button and I had turned off. So there's no audio for it. So you're going to see me going through all my normal chests, Pure Marches, Internios, Skywatch Archipelago, Archipelago. And yeah, don't really get any good drops. I get some globs of ectoplasm, but nothing really too phenomenal. It was more or less just a normal chest dailies kind of day. Now, later on, you're going to see me transition into World versus World. And I'm going to go into it saying it's an easy daily requirement day, and then go, actually, it might be quite difficult. And then you're going to watch as it becomes like one of the easiest dailies to do because I map swap, and boy howdy, there's a lot going on, and it's really fun, and I hope you stay and watch it. I had a blast, just kind of being a nuisance and a terror while there were some Zerg battles going on. So, and that's my favorite thing to do. I used to love to be a commander. I used to love to run
Things are not well here.
like groups in World versus World, but I find now just being like a semi-aware troll and running these assassin-like builds that I can really get more enjoyable things accomplished. So you'll see that coming up. I know there are some comments about, or at least one comment about how boring it is opening chests, and how they would go crazy if they had to do this every day. And this is not a have to, right? What I'm doing here is not a have to. This is a slow burn, right? This is attempting to approach a long-term goal of building legendaries and acquiring all the things I want in the game through slow acquisition. See, there, 3 globs of ectoplasm. Hashtag winning. Through, slowly acquiring profitable materials via chests that I can have characters that can be opened once a day. There's some people out there, Muckluck, and some of the other major players that have so many characters. They have so many alts. Now, okay, here's where I go into long-winded rant number 1. And I literally left the screen here on this just so you could see how bad the design of Secrets of the Obscure was. I mean, look at this. It is a gray void of nothingness. I have, and you'll see me pull it up. I have the LOD distance, so the loading, how far I can view objects at maximum. It's at ultra, and there's just a gray void. You can kind of see something there in the middle right. But it's just nothing. This expansion, I argue time and time again, it's not really an expansion. It's just terrible. It's terrible. It is the low point for Guild Wars 2. The story was bad. The characters were bad. The character story arcs were bad. The zones were god awful. The one good thing that came out of it was chests, these greater arcane chests, and it's punitive. You have to play a minigame to open a chest. That's sure, whatever. I mean, they might try to say, oh, it's to stop botting, and we're trying to, limit the amount of people that manipulate the system, but it doesn't matter, right? Like, it's just so bad, This is a video game. This is not a real-life simulator. There shouldn't be things in this game that are just frankly painful, and playing a minigame to open a chest is painful. Nowhere else does it exist. It's just this expansion, and it's terrible. If you want to make a jumping puzzle, put the chest at the end of the jumping puzzle and make it so you can't teleport a friend there, fine, cool. I will do the jumping puzzle if the chest is worth it. But those chests technically aren't worth that many game you have to play. I only open it for the hope of getting globs of ectoplasm for crafting purposes. There's better ways of farming it. I'm just lazy, so I have characters there, right? Secrets of the Obscure was just not a good time. I didn't even complete the story on my main character. I ignored it because I didn't want to justify playing it on my main. So we're going to work our way through my characters here, get our chests open. One of the other things I bring up in the audio that's lost now forever, never to be heard by anybody again, is that I'm contemplating making a video or a series of videos on all the things that Guild Wars 2 needs to focus on. And it's not even just because, like, oh, this will bring in a bigger audience. That's not what's important. This game has been running since 2012. You have a core audience. You have people like me, literally have it tattooed on my hide, right, that love this game. There are some very minor things and some major things that need to be done to make the game better for everybody that's involved, right? And I have ideas. I have them written down on paper, literally old school. And I think it might be time to make that video. I'm not sure how I'm going to go across doing that. I'm not a content creator. I know I'm pumping out content right now, and I'm learning. I'm making mistakes and I'm learning. Just like, recording 35 minutes of a video and having no audio behind it. But you know what? One step at a time. My YouTube channel is not my main focus in life. It probably will never be. I don't expect to be successful with it. I'm doing it just because I'm proving to myself I can set a goal and I can accomplish it outside of work. I'm really good at that for my careers. I'm really bad at it for personal things. And I need to button down and focus and get this done so I can prove to myself, okay, if I can do this, right? Master's degree. I could do that too. If I could do that, then I can actually get published, right? And do what I really want to do in life. And here we are. Here's another little mini rant. Here we are at the Beehive. Last time I recorded a video in here, I couldn't remember that it was called a Beehive. I think I called it a bee nest or a honey nest or something, or honey bee nest. I'm an idiot. Be better than me. So, okay. So I'm attempting to partially complete the puzzle as I jump back up to get to this guy in my time frame, but I missed the jump because I suck at this game. And I go on this rant about how I'm terrible at jumping puzzles, right? The seasonal ones, the Winter's Day and the Hallows Eve event, I get through them once. I do it at least once, or whatever the achievement requires. I think it's 5 times for the Winter's Day one, or the Halloween one, or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, good. I don't have to do this again for a year. So yeah, that's just how bad I am at video games, and at this game in particular. And I love it so much because I can suck at it, and who cares, right? Excuse my language. Who cares? I'm bad at it, and I still enjoy playing it. I still log on to it almost every day. And not because I'm addicted, and not because it's like, oh, I have to do this or I'm not accomplishing anything. No, it's because, quite literally, in my opinion, it is the greatest game in the MMO genre ever made. Better than World of Warcraft, better than RuneScape, it's better than Final Fantasy XIV, it's better than New World, it's better than Star Wars: The Old Republic. This game is legit. Maybe I'll make a video on why that's the case. But, as you see here, I'm actually completing the last leg of the jumping puzzle again to show that, yeah, I can do it, right? I'll get up to the top. I'll park my character there. Haha. Joke's on you, game. You throw a monkey wrench into my system, I will somehow infuse that wrench into the system. And it might make it worse, but it might make it better. You don't know. I don't know. Nobody knows. I checked to see how much those are going for. 16 silver. It's pathetic. I should have sold my collection when they were 100. When they were a gold each. Would have had 100 gold from that easy. So, yep, finished up. And now we're going to go into playing World vs. World to get the World vs. World dailies done. Now you'll notice, if you have keen ears, you might have heard me chewing gum in a video. The mint helps my throat from my esophagitis, gastritis. And it's something I'm really suffering through. And there's a part of me that's worried I'm going to permanently lose my voice, because it's already way different than it used to be. And if I do, if that does happen, I have these videos to look back on and say, hey, I did something, while I had the chance. So yeah, checking the bank, checking the auction house. It's not the auction house, the market, whatever. And then I open some stuff because it's just sitting in my inventory. I need to make space. And then I decide, oh, my voice cracked. And then I decide to look at my build. And specifically, what I'm looking at is, can I make it a little bit more sustainable? And we'll get there shortly. I'm just moving stuff around now. So I'm just idly speaking at the moment to pass the time to make it seem like I'm a legitimate streamer and I have a plan and I know what I'm doing. Right? I'm the Battlestar Galactica of streamers, right? The remake, the Battlestar Galactica remake. Like, there's a plan. Stay tuned. There's a plan. I do have a plan. And for at least one of you that's listening, you know what my plan is. And I appreciate you. You're an amazing human being. And don't let me fail at this plan. So yeah. So I'm getting my bus back up. I'm getting everything squared away so I can earn even more credits into my world versus world rewards. You know, would it be nice to be at level 10,000 world versus world? Yeah, it could be great. I'm at 3,000 something. That's pretty impressive, right? I mean, how many players have that? Probably a lot more than I think. Probably a lot of us have been playing a long time. Yeah, for sure. World versus world was not always my main game play style. For the longest time, Billy Joel status there. For the longest time. I was manufactured to the highest. Okay, I'll stop singing. I was really focused on dungeons and fractals, believe it or not. So here I'm going over the build and showing, like, you know, it's relatively an offensive-based build, right? It's mostly based on big hits, but it has the ability to have lasting conditions that deal damage all through Celestial. So I'm going to pull my build up, and I'm really going to take a close look at this bottom, the Renegade track, at the bottom ones, right? So I really like running Devastation. I could swap it out for something more defensive, but I like the balance there between offensive and defensive. So right now the build is running these abilities that pump up my bleeding. But I'm thinking to myself here, like, you know, bleeding really is only, I think, is only a few things in my rotation, which I don't have a rotation, but in my build. Let's look down and it's like, okay, I have 1, 2, you know, 2 so far, 3 abilities that provide bleeding. If it was 5, bleeding would be worth it. So I'm going to swap over to these more defensively focused abilities that also give a little bit extra damage, right? The 10% damage. Now, if I was running straight up Marauders or Dragon stats, it would be more viable. I get that. But protection is powerful. That 33% damage reduction is powerful. And I have a lot of life gain. So I'm thinking, you know, maybe with the life gain I have, with the recharging and with some protection and extra damage dealt, it can still be a semi-valuable build. Just remember, there are some bad builds out there. But what trumps all bad builds is your ability to not die in World versus World, right? If you position yourself well, if you use obstacles, you know, and your line of sighting players, or, you know, you're using your escapes, you're using your abilities to teleport and stuff like that to get away, you will be more successful inherently, even with a trash build. So be mindful of that. And see, I'm running a relic anyways that's focused more on other abilities. So it doesn't make sense to put, at least in my mind, to put into bleed. So we're here shortly. We're going to jump into World versus World, and we're going to give this a shot. So here we go, right? I'm obviously biased. I love World versus World. And you'll see why here in a little bit. You'll get a really good view at or perspective on the things that can happen in World versus World that are straight up dopamine rushes. So, you know, I'm looking at the whole map. I'm seeing that there's not very much green, or sorry, red. There's a lot of green. We need to change that, right? We need to do something to make an impact on the map. And so I'm going to try to get some dailies done. I've got defense event. So we're going to start how I started originally the video. I've got camps, easy. Sentry, easy. Defense events, not always the easiest, and then defeat 3 enemy players. Not always the easiest either. There have been days in some of the matchups I've had where I maybe saw 3 players total. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, I can easily get the camp and the sentry. 3 enemy invaders is the next easiest one, technically, because there's no guarantees things are going to be needing defending. But especially when so much of our map is taken by enemy players, or the enemy teams. So I'm going to get the sentry done. And the first thing I notice is that I don't feel like I'm doing as much damage. May or may not be the case.
This is our fight.
I don't track numbers. I don't use, as you see, any add-ons. I don't really focus on how much damage I'm doing. I don't even really focus on how much damage I'm taking. The main thing I'm focusing on is I'm trying to learn the other player's telegraphs, and I'm trying to learn the other player's approach, right? It's a lot like the Death Star run in the original Star Wars movie, right? The Y-Wings were the first attempt to blow up the Death Star, but that was just, tactically speaking, right? That was just a trial, because the X-Wings had the proton torpedoes too, right? So in the perfect world, a Y-Wing would drop it because it has a better drop vector, yada, yada, yada. But it's not the only thing you got going for you. So when I come across enemy players, I'm going to wait for them. I'm also going to be offensive-minded, because a good defense is a good offense, and vice versa. And here I'm going into some rant that I'll get to in a second about how we need an additional map. But you're going to watch me later on fighting other players, attempting to maneuver them and getting them to do things so I can see how their playstyle is. But anyway, so right now there are only 4 maps in World vs. World, and 2 of them are duplicates, and that was the point I was making in bringing up the map. So there's 2 Alpine, there's 1 Desert, and then Eternal Battlegrounds. Everybody loves Eternal Battlegrounds, right? Most people don't understand the Desert Battleground. What we really need is either one of the Alpine maps to be turned into its own map, or a 5th map to be made that's put in the middle. And you know what I would be all for? Is if Edge of the Mists was brought in and turned into a regular World vs. World map with the same regular World vs. World rules, because nobody plays in Edge of the Mist unless you're forced to by a queue. Nobody. It's garbage content. It's dead, right? It's one of those things that was a good idea at the time. When it first came out, everybody was like, this is cool, this is fun, this is new, this is unique. And then when mounts came out, everybody was like, this sucks, I can't use my mount here. Right? I'm never coming back. Or this sucks because like you have to have a certain amount of players because it's really hard to solo. Right? There's a lot of complaints about it. So, okay, so we got the sentry done. We're going to take a camp, and we're going to get 2 parts of the daily. And then I'm going to have this notion, which I have sometimes, which is, okay, if I want to get the next part of the dailies done, when I have these kind of dailies lined up, I'm going to have to go to EBG probably if there's no queue. And I'm going to do that. And you're going to witness what I like to call World versus World. Now, that's a unique thing. I came up with that, right? No, I didn't. Obviously, I did. You're going to see some really cool World versus World action. And I miss this emergency waypoint entirely because I'm more focused on claiming the camp and looking at what's right in front of me that I miss my giant text screen in the lower left-hand corner. Don't miss those, right? If there's a call out for help, respond. But rather than doing that, I'm going to like look at the map and go, man, I guess I do have to go to EBG. Oh, I forgot we're not blue anymore. So we're going to go to our waypoint. And then when I get into Eternal Battlegrounds, I'm going to go, oh man, there's an emergency waypoint I missed. So, cool, righteous. Well, so I'm going to see, crud, we have a tag fighting a group. I'm probably not going to get there in time for the defense event. Oh, there's a lot of them there. So, you know, maybe it's a tighter fight than I thought. And I'm going to go the line of sight, the straight line route rather than going through our garrison to get to that fight. Mind you, while I'm doing this, I'm distracted by talking to the microphone to a pretend audience that doesn't exist, because what I'm really focusing on is trying to like say something meaningful and useful, right? And that's difficult sometimes. It's a video game. But yeah, so we're going to make our way to this fight and see what we can do to help. In the meantime, you know, it's key for anybody who plays an MMO with a player versus environment form, like world versus world, to know that they're not always going to be successful, right? To expect defeat and to look forward to it and learn from it. All right, so we have this guy here. He's another Renegade Revenant. He positions himself really badly. I interrupt him. I interrupt him again. He's down. We get our first kill, and I go, okay. Just 2 more, and my dailies are done. Here's an easy second one. I just have to tag. I just tap it. Simple hit. Bam. 66% done. 2 out of 3. And now I'm going to be just an absolute garbage player and do something you should never do and leave the tag entirely, get a free meal, and taunt the enemies by invading their space. Right? This is not okay. Don't do this. You're going to die. Right? I get lucky. I get the ability to mount up, and I'm just going to poke my head in and take a look at things and be all like, oh, hey, that guy has like next to no health left. I'm going to try to do something. Oh, crap. He went invisible. Story of my life. You know. No easy kills for me. Oh, hey, the gate's open. Let's see what the tag's doing. Oh, crud. Here comes green, and they are organized and massive, it seems like. So I'm pulling back. I'm backpedaling. I'm using ranged abilities. I'm focusing in the bubble. I'm just trying to get as many hits as I can. You know, I get frozen, and I'm going to swap back and forth to try to get some abilities off. I'm just trying to get some tags in there, and then I notice, oh, there's a downy. Oh, there's multiple downies. Oh gosh, I need to get in there on that. So I'm going to swap again. I'm going to drop my legendary renegades, and we're going to get some damage done. We're going to get some big numbers there. And what I'm going to realize is that, like, our tag is much more competent than I thought. Because they're tight. They're not super tight, but there's a lot of sustain. And so they withstood that direct assault by green. You're going to see some people use some inappropriate language there as they decide to run away. And I don't like running away. Like, I'm going to get my dailies done. Woohoo. And, right. I'm going to turn and be like, who's an easy target, right? Who's going to... Oh, no. Jokajo is dying. I don't know who that is. I'm going to jump in there. And I'm... Oh, hey. Nope. We got ourselves a druid here that wants to parlay. And that's not what parlay means. It wants to partake in some love. And he gets away because, druids are overpowered. Then we got an elementalist that's like, hey, I want to kill you because I don't like you, and I'm going to fight back, right? Get some interrupts down, get some hits in. I'm going to get hit by a ranger from a distance, and I'm just going to, be like, oh, it's all right, I'll still escape, and I can't. And I get down. Happens to be a lot. I'm a risky play style player, and I'm just going to chuckle at how, all of a sudden I'm getting run over by a Zerg. Well, that was quick. And it's a great lesson, right? Totality of circumstances and situational awareness. I should be looking around me. I shouldn't just be focusing on what I'm doing. I should be looking to where my tag is and where my allies are. And I should be doing my part. But instead, I'm going to get kind of transfixed by this battle that happens on the bridge, right? So we have a choke. And then I go, you know what? No, it's not worth the effort. I'm just going to rezone and run back to the fight. Right? And I'm going to have... some items in my inventory. I'm going to cycle through, get some more Imperial favors. See, slowly making progress towards the legendaries. And then I talk about the reward chests. All right, so pips, or these little hash marks, are earned, or these ticks, are earned for participation over time playing World versus World. The more you play, the more you earn. You want to eventually get to the gold and platinum chests, diamond chests, because the rewards are very lucrative, right? And I'm talking about ticks, I'm talking about pips, and then here we go. So we have 2 mystic coins that drop. Those are a big deal, right? That's almost 4 golds worth of math alone. But the thing is they're time gated, so they're hard to get. They drop from things either once a day or out of these chests, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm talking about how Good players aim for gold. Great players get diamond every week, because it resets weekly. And that's 6. You know, it's some great, really fun play in World versus World. And there's some, you know, really great rewards if you stick with it. Yeah, so I notice the tag is building up, so I'm going to go investigate. I like to be a scout. I like to look ahead. I'm going to try to see, okay, so there's nothing really going on here. We got a guy in a trebuchet or a trebucket, you know, and then we have our tag sitting back. And it's like, okay, you know, maybe the tag's disbanding. I can't tell. But I see they say join tag, join Discord. So I'm not going to join Discord, your Discord. I'm not going to join your weird online cult where voices voices to heads I can't see are you know, speaking in my ear. I'm going to get the nodes here. Please send nodes, right? Everybody loves free nodes. And apparently only Myth bites. It's fine. It's fair. I don't know who Myth is. Hopefully they're a compassionate biter. And they're doing it with consent. Right. And then I talk about how guilds have really changed how World versus World works, right? I'm part of a very small guild. There's only 71 members. I choose to represent it, and you'll see that little rook icon set as my World versus World guild. I choose the small one because it gives me the freedom of being moved around when rematches occur. So I'm not with the same group of players all the time. So I get to see a lot of different play styles and play groups, right? And what you're going to see here is something I haven't seen in a while, which is that we're going to have a guild push in towards green quadrant. Well, it's not really a quadrant. It's not 4s, but the green corner. And I see these guys fighting this herald, and I go, haha, yeah, I'll help. You know, crap, he's back up to full health already. I'll knock him down. I'll get some hits on. I'll knock his health down a little bit. I'll get invested. I'll drop some stuff. I'll lose some health. I'll realize, oh crap, I'm alone. Because that damn Char decided to pull out when I was just finally getting an advantage. And the Herald makes a mistake here. The Herald thinks, oh, this Renegade is a noob. This Renegade doesn't know what he's doing. This Renegade is clearly a bogus streamer. And I don't stream, but a bogus content creator and can't hold his own. And so I'm going to wait for my allies to go in, gather some attention. I'm going to make sure that nobody's coming around that corner right now because it looks like there's people over there. It looks like they're doing fighting stuff. So I'm going to make sure that that's not a risk to me. I don't see anything, I'm going to mount up, I'm going to turn, and I'm going to go back at that Herald. And watch very carefully. His health is low already. My job is not to get the kill. My job is to maintain the damage and the pressure so that he can't heal and he can't escape. I'm pressuring him, and he knows I'm playing legendaries, so he knows that I'm going to restrict his movement by dropping those things in certain areas. So that's why he's not just running for the portal. By the time he realizes, oh shoot, I have to get out of here, it's too late, we got him down, we'll get the kill. Right? And I get it. It's 4-on-1, it's not fair, 3 or 4-on-1. But, you know, good Herald players are good. Got my Emblem of the Avenger completed, so, you know, we're going to push on for a little bit. Heck yeah, you know, let's get some progress made. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, our allies under attack. Uh-oh, wait, there's 1, there's 2, there's 2 more coming from the right-hand side. I'm having second thoughts because I'm outnumbered, greatly outnumbered. And I don't know any of these players. Like, this is a new matchup for me. So, you know, this Luna Irene is just like, hey, lots of blues. Let's be careful. I agree. So I'm going to look at my surroundings, look at who's here with me. And I'm kind of looking at the mini-map right now, and I'm like, you know, I see these on the corner of the screen, the right-hand corner of the screen, I see these catapults going off, and I go, I think that's us. You know, that might be worth investigating. But as of right now, you know, we're not really getting any attention. There's nobody coming at us. And it appears that blue has pulled off for the most part here. It's funny, I see I all over the place now. That used to be a guild that, like, I was part of a smaller guild that we really like, a Havoc squad for I, like 1 day a week. And we were terrible. But I was legitimate. They were good. And I see this guy. I'm like, oh no, Jotun got himself freaking whomped. Okay, well, I'm going to get in here. I'm going to try to keep him alive. You know, it's a freaking dead eye, so of course they're going to be laying down the damage. And they finally realize, oh, I need to switch to a new target. So I see the Zerg coming. I know I'm alright. As long as I get some damage on that, I'm good. And boy, howdy, the freaking commander is on it. Right? Jumps in to help. Yes! We got the save. That's worth more than a kill in my book. We did our job. Right. And I'm going to follow tag because, you know, they've gotten some good kills in. And they've had some good fights. And here they see blue coming and we go, oh no, we're just going to turn around. There's a lot of them and they're very angry and they're mounted. So, oops. And I go, okay, this is a learning point. I'm going to teach you guys something special. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to go directly at the enemy Zerg and I'm going to dodge and I'm going to dodge and I'm going to make it all the way. And you see all the players that just stop, right? They freeze. This happens. If you are commanding a Zerg and you're getting chased, do not run away. Do not let your tail become the easy fodder. Stop, mount up, turn around, and jump into them. You will cause the enemy Zerg, the vast majority of the time, not all the time, to scatter. Not only that, they will scatter and you'll get kills. You might not win the battle, but you've won the psychological war. Because every time they come across you now, they don't know what you're going to do as attack. If you run, they know you're going to run. But if you run and then turn, it's like, oh, shoot, they feint. They know how to feint, right? That's the whole point. It's about being in the head of your enemy commander if you're commanding. I'll tell you, that works every time. If you know that they're expecting you to battleship or like stay next to them and just fight, then don't do it, right? Change what you're doing. Change it up. And then look at this. The tag comes and starts resing me. The tag does. Look at this guy. They're lovely. They're awesome players. I'm loving this. This AW group, this UD group. Right? It's UD? It's UD, excuse me, not AW, UD. Don't even know what the guild is. I never clicked on the dude. The lady. They're fantastic. So, we're going to push down in towards Wild Creek Run. This is going to get kind of chaotic. This is not the most organized group. I'm pretty sure it's a mostly pug group, but I see downies, and I'm like, yes, I love me some beautiful, delicious downies. I'm going to get some. Get some action, get some taps, tags. We're going to get some hits on people. We're going to get some kills. We're going to have some fun. The tag moves around a lot. They squirrel, which is fine. If the tag is swirling, everybody gets a squirrel. Just stay near the tag. You know, I'm not running Shiro, so I can't catch up. I think I am, so I swap over to Legendary Renegade to go crud. But I go, oh wait, he gets freaking burned. I'm gonna drop my legendaries. I'm gonna participate in this and get these kills. Yeah, it's good. It's good, you know. And then I go, oh no, we're nowhere near the tag again. Oops. Story Molly. I accidentally, you know, pop in the inventory. Shoot, I'm going to deposit materials, get back in here. I'm going to, you know, get some hits on some people that are down. And then we're just going to kind of pressure this choke. Even a choke can even be a single wall. If they're pushing themselves up against it, they're choking themselves and they're being dumb. So that's a choke. Don't ever choke yourself. Give yourself room to maneuver. You can't dodge into a wall. So, it's a choke. Not a good one, but it's better than nothing. All right. Harold's back. He's harassing us from the backside. He's good. You gotta be careful. Or she is. I don't know. I can't tell. He or she. They are good. I'm going to change my settings because I'm getting just way too much graphical lag. I'm going to actually drop it to low. And we're going to go in. We're going to go in hot. We're going to go in full throttle. That should keep those ties off her back. Somebody says Heidi Ho. It reminds me of the Christmas Pooh guy from South Park. And yeah, and we're going to follow tag around, and we're going to take out our Herald buddy here, who, you know, puts up a fantastic fight. Full applause to them. They are trying to get away. They're doing their best. Just full. I'm doing abilities and applauding at the same time. They deserve that. Good job to them. Honorable death. And then I see this line of arrow carts. This is ultimate troll behavior by the tag, but it's a respectful troll, right? 5 arrow carts located on the Lord room of the tower, just wreaking havoc down, just getting damage dealt to force the enemy Zergs out of the tower. It's brilliant play. They drop freaking guild banners, you know, because why? Because they know they can get away with it. They know they got the balls to do it, right? It's just, this is great. This is really unique stuff. And now I realize my mic was off. So, thanks for joining.
but you don't know it yet.
My microphone was off the entire time I was recording this. That's pretty hilarious. I had some really dumb things to say, and I don't remember any of them now. But yeah, so doing some world versus world. Got our dailies done. Didn't get any good chest drops. Got some kills in today. You know, I'm doing something dumb here, and I'm straying from the tag. He doesn't realize that the closer he stays to me, the worse he's going to be. Uh-oh. We got our Herald friend back.
This is our fight. Black Legion, see it done.
So yeah, so I've been getting some kills in, getting some dailies done, mopping up backfield. I went on a big long rant about how if you're a commander and you're commanding a Zerg in World versus World and you're getting chased like these guys were earlier, sometimes it's best just to turn around and run into it. You'll watch them. Oh, nice pull. Nice, we got him in the knockdown. All right, we're going to interrupt him. We're going to... Yes, fly pretties. Look at all those numbers popping. Gonna give us some stability. And we're just gonna rain havoc in here. Gonna go in for the... Oh! Gonna go in for the pound. Didn't get it, but that's fine. It was close. I have no idea where our tag went. I'm way off a tag. Oh boy. Yes, our wall of... Bro, what are you doing? Bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, get away from my people. Jesus. I will hurt you. I'm not afraid of hurting you. You're the same rodent I killed earlier. Why haven't you learned yet? Uh-oh. Here they come. Oh no, this is gonna hurt. Oh, they want me. They got me. Ooh. Oh. Come on, get the kills, come on. Oh, double downed. It was good. It was good. Yeah, so I've been sitting here ranting to myself for God knows how long. Story of my life. And of course, I have 2 bloots near me, which are bags of loot. Ooh, leather. All right, camp fight. I love it. I love it. They built a shield generator. That's I love. Come on, try to pull me. Yeah, see? A lot of good that did, ya? Oh, fuck, I'm in a bad spot. I left my tag.
Fate meet fist.
Oh, they got me. Ouch. That wasn't very nice. Yeah, you get pushed. Okay, well, more of the story today. Make sure your microphone is on before you start recording. So I'm going to have to do some dumb voiceover for this video for the vast majority of it. Which is fine. Oh, God darn it. I really wish I had been paying attention. Yeah, that was some good fun, though. I'm glad I recorded it. We got to see some cool stuff. You know, I might just leave it as is and just run with it and say, oops, it's not a big deal. Got some fun stuff today. Made some progress. Made some enemies. Made some friends. We laughed. We cried. We, you know, we called home to talk to our mothers, and they didn't answer the phone, which is fine. We deserve that. We were terrible children. But yeah, so this is going to probably sum up this video for now.
Nothing can bring me down.
I really appreciate you guys that are watching. We'll sign off as we always do with a nice hot cup of joe. And yeah, you know, keep doing good things out there. Be good people. Stay positive. And never give up. Never surrender. I can't leave on that. It's probably trademarked. Fear not this night. That doesn't work either as an exit. Praise Joko. There we go. Praise Joko.